Okay, hi. So we have I'm lost. SYS-6. And what this is writing and solving systems, okay? So what we're going to be doing is taking all the information how to solve systems, but now we're going to, I guess, use them in word problems, okay? So exercise 1 looks like so. And what we have here are 2 tanks and they're holding water. Okay, so this is, here we go. They're holding water. And what's happening is water is flowing from tank 1 and it's flowing from tank 1 through this little pipe into tank 2. Okay, originally tank 1, so it starts with 1,540 gallons in it. And in tank 2, it has 236 gallons in it. Okay, so that's how much is starting with. So in an equation or whatever you would have, you start with 1,540 in tank 1, and in tank 2, I start with 236 gallons. This is the gallons of water. Water is draining out, okay? So that means that tank 2 is actually losing water. So when I'm losing, I'm subtracting. So water is draining out of tank 1, okay? So it's losing water at a rate of 6 gallons per minute. And what's happening is when this is losing water at 6 gallons per minute, this tank 2, is filling up at a rate of 6 gallons per minute. So this one is getting bigger or increasing. Okay, so part A says write an equation for each tank that models the volume of water in V. Okay, so the volume in each tank is going to equal something in gallons as a function of the number of minutes. So that means after how many minutes the volume or how much water is in the tank is going to be changing. Okay, so tank 1, the volume, okay, here's my equation. How much I start with, okay, so I started with 1,540 gallons, okay, and then what happens is it's losing 6 gallons per minute, so 6M. Starts with 1,540, loses 6 gallons per minute. Tank 2, on the other hand, the volume for tank 2, how much did tank 2 start with? It started with 236 gallons, okay? And it's gaining, so it's filling, so the water is increasing or getting higher, so I'm adding 6 gallons per minute. Alrighty. Excellent. So that is A. Part B says, find out how long it takes to the nearest minute for the 2 tanks to have the same number of gallons. Okay, so remember the number of gallons is how much volume I have. So how much water is in the tank. I want to know when both of these, how many minutes, so I'm solving for M, these 2 things are equal, okay? So if they're going to be the same, they have to be equal. So what I'm going to have is this equal to this. So tank 1 is equal to tank 2. And now since it says find out how long, I'm going to solve for M. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do here is minus 236. Okay. Alrighty, and I get 1,540 minus 236. So I get 1,304 minus 6M equals 6M. Okay, I'm trying to get M alone, so I'm going to plus 6M. Alrighty, and I'm left with 1,304 equals 6 plus 6 is 12. So I have 12M, divide 12. So the minutes is going to be 1,304 divided by 12, which is 108.66 repeating. Okay. But it asks me to round to the nearest minute. Since I'm over 0.5, I'm going to round up to 109. Find out how long it takes, 109 minutes. Okay, so part C says will it take longer or shorter than 2 hours? Justify. Okay, well, I solved for minutes. Minutes is not the same thing as hours. So I'm asking you, how many minutes are in 2 hours? Okay, well, 2 hours is equal to 2 times 60, okay? You have 60 minutes in each hour, so I have 120 minutes, okay? So this right here, 2 hours is equal to 120 minutes. So 109 minutes is less than 120 minutes, so it's shorter than 2 hours. So shorter than 2 hours because 120 minutes is greater than 109 minutes. Okie dokie. Perfect. Excellent. So we did our first example where we're going to write the equations and then solve. All right, exercise 2. So a rectangle has a perimeter. Ooh, perimeter. Do you remember what perimeter is? Perimeter is the distance all the way around. Okay, so all the way around something. So like all the way around the circle. So it'd be around this whole outside. Okay, so you would you walk the perimeter or you walk around the outside. All right, the perimeter is a rectangle, is 42 feet, okay? Its length L is 3 feet more than twice its width. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is label the rectangle with known quantities. So if we know all the way around perimeter, that's going to equal 42 feet. Okay, so the perimeter all the way around this thing is 42 feet. Now, what is my length and what is my width? I'm going to call this is going to be my width, and this is going to be my length. Okay, perfect. So does it give me any information about this? It says my perimeter is 42, got it. Its length, L, is 3 feet more than, so 3 more than, so I'm going to add twice its width. Okay, well, what did we use as width? W, so I would have 3 plus 2W. That's what L is. Okay, create a system of equations, in terms of L and W for the perimeter of the rectangle. Okay, well, the first thing we have to talk about is how are these two things related? How do you get a perimeter? Okay, so the perimeter would be how many times you would walk around L, you would walk around L, you would walk around W again, you would walk around L again. Okay, so the first little system I have here is my perimeter. So the perimeter is going to equal, you walk around W twice and you walk around length twice. Okay, the second equation I have, okay, is my length right here. So I have length equals 3 plus 2W. Okay, now the only thing I'm going to do differently is this right here, the perimeter, I actually have a number for, okay? So I'm going to have 42 equals 2 width plus 2 length, and I'm also going to have L, the length is 3 plus 2W. So this right here is my system. These are the equations that I know, okay? So solve the system of equations that you created by substitution to find the values of the length and the width. So 42 equals 2w plus 2l. L equals 3 plus 2w. Okay, substitution. Well, of course, substitution, because you have L equals something already. So you can plug it right in for this L term. So you're left with 42 equals 2w plus 2 times 3 plus 2w. And now you just get to simplify this out and solve. 42 equals 2w. I'm going to distribute that 2. So plus 6 plus 4w. All right, let's combine like terms. So I get 42 equals 4 plus 6 is 6w plus 6. Okay. I'm going to solve for w here. So minus 6. Minus 6. Okay. 42 minus 6 is 36. Okay. And then I'm going to divide by 6. And I'm going to get that my width is 6. Okay, so I solved for the width. So now all I have to do is solve for the length. Okay. So the length is 3 more than 2 times the width, which is 3 plus 2 times 6. So I get L equals 3 plus 12. L equals 15. Okay, so there's my length and there's my width. That one I would say is an uncommon question. Exercise 3, on the other hand, is a very common question. These, your 6-pointer on your Regents will be something like this, I promise you. So let's jump right into it. So I have a person, her name is Shayna, and Shayna bought sodas and popcorn for the movies. Sodas cost $3 each, and popcorn costs $4 per bag. Shayna bought 7 things from the concession stand, all of them either sodas or bags of popcorn. In total, Shayna spent $26. Write a system of equations involving the number of sodas, S, and the bags of popcorn, P. Solve the system to see how many of each Shayna bought. Okay, so I have to figure out how many of the popcorns and sodas she bought. Okay, how do I know which numbers go with which equations? My biggest tip to you is you have to stay consistent. Consistent. I totally spelled that wrong. Here we go. Stay consistent. What does that mean? Okay. It means like money, okay? Keep it with money. And you want to keep your quantity with quantity. Okay. And what does that mean? It means that usually if you have a question, it'll tell you that something costs something and something else costs something, and all of that together costs an X amount of money. And then you're saying to yourself, well, I'm spending all of this money, but what am I spending it on? So you're talking about the quantities that you spent your money on. So the first thing we want to do is we know that sodas cost $3 for sodas. Popcorn cost $4, and she bought 7 things. Well, that has nothing to do with money, so I'm going to leave that alone. But she did spend a total of $26. So notice what I'm doing here. I have money, money, money. Okay, I'm keeping the money together. So sodas, which is represented by S, sodas are $3. So she bought $3 sodas and she bought $4 popcorns. And when she bought all of that, she spent $26. Okay, so what is my second equation? Well, here's the easy part normally. Normally, what you do for your second part of this equation is you just lose your coefficients here. So it would just be sodas plus popcorn because those are the two things she bought, right? She bought sodas and popcorn and she bought 7 things, okay? So that means that sodas and popcorn, when she purchased those, walked away, she had 7 things in her hand, okay? So now what do I have? I have a system, okay? I have money, 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 quantity, 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 all righty? Easiest way to remember that. So now what I want to do is solve this. Now you can, of course, use substitution or elimination. It does not matter. I like substitution so much that I'm going to use elimination. Okay, so what I want to do is eliminate one of these P's or S's. It doesn't matter. I think I'm going to eliminate S's first. So if I wanted to eliminate S, I'd have to add these two together, and this 3 would have to cancel out. So 3 minus 3 gives me 0, so that means I have to do a -3. Alrighty, so I'm going to rewrite the system over here. So I get 3S plus 4P equals 26. And when I distribute this thing through, I get -3S minus 3P equals -21. Okay, now I get to add these together so I can do some elimination. Well, this cancels. This is so nice because 4 minus 3 is just 1P, so 1 popcorn. And 1 popcorn equals 26 minus 21 is, oh golly, is 5. Excellent. So I've already answered half the question. I have 5 popcorns. That Shayna bought 5 popcorns. Now, the only other thing I have to do is figure out how many sodas she bought, okay? So if she had 7 things and 5 of them were popcorn, well, I'm just going to substitute my 5 in. So sodas plus 5 popcorns. She has to be having 7 things in her hands when she walks away. Minus 5. Okay, so S equals 2. So that means that Shayna has 5 popcorns and 2 sodas. Oopsies. Okay, so notice here, I wrote this down. If you do not write this down, you are not answering the question, okay? The question says how many each Shanna bought. Shanna bought 5 popcorns and 2 sodas, okay? Not S equals 2. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Make a statement, answer the question. Okay, this is the last one. A little bit more of a complicated one. This is a graphing one, okay? So exercise 4, what do we have here? We have 2 families went to Roller Coaster World. I wish I could go to Roller Coaster World. I love roller coasters. We have the Brown family. What they paid is $170 for 3 children and 2 adults, okay? So the Brown family brought 3 children, 2 adults, and they paid $170. Then we have the Peckham family, and they paid $360 for 4 children and 6 adults. Okay, if X is the price of a child's ticket in dollars and Y is the price of an adult's tickets in dollars, write a system of equation that models the situation. Okay, I need to decipher where my equations are. So I have the Brown family. Okay, well, what did the Brown family buy? They have $170 for 3 children and 2 adults. Okay. What does their equation look like? The quantity comes first. I have 3 children. All right, so X is the children's price and 2 adults, and Y is the adult tickets, and they spent $170. Okay, the Peckham family. Peckham. Alrighty. All right, Peckham family, what do you have? We have, they spent $360 for 4 children and 6 adults. Okay, so for 4 children and 6 adults, they spent $360. Okay, that is my system. Now I have to graph my system. All right, that just means I have to graph these 2 lines. So I have 3x plus 2y equals 170. I need to solve for y, just like I normally would. So I'm going to cover this, undo what I see. I don't see any sign in front of this, so it is a plus 3x. To undo a plus 3x, I minus 3x. Go back to the beginning, and I get 2y equals 170 does not have an x on it, so I just write what I see. All right, and the last one says to divide by 2. Alrighty, so what am I left with? Y equals 170 divided by 2 is 40. And I cannot simplify this down any further, so it's just going to go with me for the ride. Okay, so let's draw this line. So my y-intercept tells me where to begin, and it says, hey, begin when y equals 40. So where does y equal 40? 2. It equals 40 right here. 170 divided by 2. This is not right. 170 divided by 2 is not 40. 85. I apologize for that. Something didn't seem right to me. It was too low on the graph. Did my math wrong. Okay, so it tells me you start at y equals 85, and then this tells me how to move. So it says move down 3 boxes, 1, 2, 3, and then move to the right 2 boxes. Down 3 boxes, right 2 boxes. Down 3 boxes, right 2 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay. I'm just going to draw this line here. All right, so this is the Brown family. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same thing and hopefully not make a mistake to the Peckham family, okay? So if I need to solve for y like normal, cover this, undo what I see. So there's nothing in front of the 4x, so there's a plus sign. So that means to undo it, I minus 4x. Okay. And go back to the beginning, and I get 6y equals 360 minus 4x. Divide by 6. Okay, and I get y equals 360 divided by 6. Hopefully I can get that one right, is 60. And this right here, I'm going to simplify down. If you put it in your calculator, it'd tell you the easiest way to do it. So I would have 4 over 6, which simplifies to 2 over 3x. Okay, so that means I start when y is 60. So I go to 60 on the y-axis, and it says move down 2 boxes to the right 3. So down 1, down 2, 1, 2, 3. Down 1, down 2, 1, 2, 3. Down 1, down 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and here is your second line. Okay, and this is the Peckham kind of like Beckham family. All right, so the last part of this question says, state the coordinates of the point of intersection and explain what each coordinate of the point of intersection means in the context of the problem. Okay, so the point of intersection. Okay, point of intersection, aka where do these things cross? Right here. Okay, so the point of intersection is where these two things intersect, and that point is at 30, 40. Okay, so what does it mean in the context of the problem? Well, basically what you're doing is reading your axes. So the price of a child's ticket is your x-axis. So a child's ticket costs $30. And then the price of adult ticket is your y-axis. So the price of an adult ticket is $40. Okay, so a child ticket $30. I guess I don't have to write dollars since I put a dollar sign. And we can just write adult ticket. Okay, and we have answered all of the questions. So now you just get to jump right ahead and do your homework, and I hope you have the best day ever.